Oh. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Oh, You're just gonna have to deal with that with the Sonic free air thing. You're just gonna have to deal with that. The effort that I have gone through to get this stupid thing to record properly is insane. Insane. So much time. So much time spent trying to get this game to run. All of these attempts, wasted attempts. Because my fucking recording software did an oopsie. But here we are. Finally. At last. No bullshit. Just Sonic the Hedgehog free in all its glory. And I am incredibly excited because I really like this game. Separated from Sonic and Knuckles, but we'll talk about that when we get to Sonic and Fuckles, because I just don't want to have Sonic and Knuckles taint this great game again, like it always tends to. And yes, I do have outrun camera enabled. I have a lot of little modern features on, so I can just zip past. I've done this. I've been in this game plenty of times without these features. I need a break. I need a fucking break from trying to complete this 20 million kajillion times. And look at this. This is going to save us both time with all of these features with the outrun camera. Because now, I can see where I'm going better. And Fuss have a better ability to, go fast. So now you'll truly see my Sonic skills shine brightly. Now that all is out of the way. What is good about this game? The usual stuff. There's a lot to talk about that's good. For one, the sprite work is incredible in this game. Although it does get a bit crusty towards the end in a sort of Sonic and Knuckles style, which is not a good thing. I do not like the Sonic and Knuckles special stages at all. Or no. What am I talking about? I am not a huge fan of the Sonic and Knuckles art style. It is a very clear and obvious change from Sonic 3 to Sonic and Knuckles, where some of that, cartoonishness that brings these environments to life, that is sort of more abstract, nonsensical, terrain, I feel, is lost. And I feel like I would describe some of those sprites as compressed photos put onto a Genesis, which it does look like, which is not good. But it also looks like they were probably experimenting and messing around with pre-rendered tiles and making sprites out of that kind of thing. Well, this is a section of the level I have not been before, which is incredibly rare. Wow. Exclusive stuff here. I've not been to that weird higher section before, I don't think. You see this? You see how much more time we're going to be saving than if we didn't have this little setting here on? Because now, I can really just speed on by. Oh, yeah. This is what I play Sonic for. Sonic 3 has probably the speediest level design out of any of the games. If you are just blasting through. Which is why I don't want to get the special stages. Because they get in the way of, taking advantage of that fun, speedy flow which the game provides. There's something cool about Sonic Free Air. Look at this. It doesn't act like this in the Genesis version. In the Genesis version, it's hold right to win. Which I didn't really care about, when playing that. Because, the spectacle was still really amazing. But here, they've made it an actual section of the game that you go through. which is really cool. I don't think I'm gonna be getting this to the Tails exploit again. No. If you can do that right, you can get Tails to bounce on him until he dies, but that's not gonna happen here. No, we're just gonna be bouncing on Le Robotnik until he dies. And I've gotta say, the boss sprites in this game are the best in the series. In the series. Of all time. They look so cool. And a lot of the object sprites have this, like, 90s CGI charm. Where they're a bit glossy. Like, look at that shine on Knuckles' forehead. You may want to wipe your sweat a bit. Wipe your sweat. Holy shit. Wipe your sweat a bit there, buddy. But there is on the objects stick out really well from the nice, cool, more gradient-ish sprite work for the tiles. And the sort of weird CGI look of the sprites help the characters pop out. And I think that is a great design choice. Not to mention that the enemy designs in general are really fun. Like, look at that goofy-ass pufferfish. Like, what is it doing? What is that pufferfish doing? Why is it built like that? And there's a lot of expressiveness in the animation, too. Like, I like how determined he looks. He's real pissed. He wants to just really go for it. You know, when you really take a look at some of these sprites here, it makes you just appreciate how hard the artists work. I mean, this is definitely, I'd say... Oof. You know, all of these recording attempts, I've become slightly more positive with this game. But I think that when you really, like, appreciate some of the stuff here, it's really good-looking game. I mean, look at these cool colors. Look at these are some nice color combinations here. The background looks really nice and just a good background makes you forget it's there, but that's good. A good background fits in with the rest of the level, but doesn't pop out too much as to add noise to the actual gameplay environment, where are the things that the player can actually interact with. It's nice. Again, Pipe Sprite looks cool. I'd also say the bosses in this game are really well designed. Even more sad that Sonic and Knuckles would go and fuck that up, because of course it did. It's a big black cartridge of death and destruction that sort of signifies a lack of quality to come in the future. Like, you just can't tell me that the game is that Sonic and Knuckles is the better half, because it's not. It's just not. For all of the spectacle it has, it is not going to match the fun-looking visuals of this. Oh god, no. There's no way. No, I'm not dying to this, bro. That is such a rookie thing to do. Doesn't help that my neck itches like crazy, and I just... Oh my god, what am I doing? Yeah, but it really doesn't help that my neck is itching like crazy. Which doesn't help when there's a giant wall chasing this blue rat fuck here. I've got to speed like right now. Yeah, but really, Sonic Free is like... Oh my god, that background. Look at that background. Look at that parallax. Look at that shit, man. That's just so nice. It's not intrusive into, like, the actual foreground. But what makes it... Just look at that purple. Look at that brilliant purple. It looks like, you know, light is coming from below and, like, shining on it. And it looks great. It looks fan-fucking-tastic. I will not disagree that Sonic the Hedgehog Free No Sonic and Knuckles fucking it up. It's good. It's a good game. And I feel that the game is better on its own. Sonic 3 and Knuckles can drag on for a long ass time. I struggle to beat those two games in one go. Just because Sonic 3 is so much better. Then you get to Sonic and Knuckles, and that quality drops off so hard. You can just feel like the shit-o-meter going up drastically once you reach that. Oh my god. It's surprising how much a... Oh, and would you look at that? A mechanic that Sonic CD introduced benefits Sonic 3. Look at that. So good. It really does make the gameplay experience better, though. It provides you with even more real estate on your screen to dodge obstacles than you already had, which is good. In a game where you're running at 5,000 miles per hour, I do believe that having that sort of buffer for you to see what's coming ahead is good. And it makes that feeling, that flow state, more easy to get. Which is good, because somebody who is bad at Sonic games will never reach that flow state. And I'm a type of guy who likes difficulty options. If I don't want difficulty options to be like a super, like, massive thing that has major impact on the game, I feel like they should do what it says on the... Oh my god, how long have I had that up? My mouse keeps moving. Yeah, it's just the way that the window's gonna have to be, because I tried desperately to get it to, Oh no! All 150 of my rungs have been stolen by this bastard. How could he? How he could? Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's how it's done. Again, with the good boss design. This is much better than previous boss fights. Much better. And it looks a lot more like an actual machine, too. Like, I can see that machine having an actual purpose. Unlike, machines in Sonic CD, or Sonic 1, or even Sonic 2, where you can't really tell what they would be used for. This game is really good. And here we are in Marble Garden, the spiritual successor to Marble Zone. And I gotta say, in every way, well, I say Marble Garden, or actually Marble Zone, has more of those surreal vibes, which I like in my Sonic games. This is not a shabby successor. The enemies in this zone are really cool. The background is enticing. Look at those mountains, though. Look at the mountains. Oh, man. Late life Genesis games just looked really good. Like, it is true that once developers have time to get used to hardware, they can really just fucking run with it. I mean, it even still going on today. As ROM hacking gets more sophisticated, you can just really get every bit of graphical juice and impressive feats out of the game, out of Genesis hardware. It's just fucking incredible seeing what people do. Especially since ROM hacking used to be a massive pain in the ass. Just seeing how far it's come. And that is, in the end, it's still running on a Genesis. Although it is there are some things I'm pretty sure that requires it to be running in emulator and could not run, on an actual thing, but Whoa, is that lag in my Sonic 3 air unacceptable? Bouncing on those little spinny wheels, like doing like something like if you can get on that and then do like a little spin dash on it and it launches you up into the air, and then keeping your momentum up throughout the act is just really nice, and I really enjoy that. There's nothing like Just blasting through zones like these. Oh, there's also nothing like falling off a ledge. An issue with this game's design is there is a lot of opportunities to fall down into a previous section of the zone. Especially in Ice Cap. As good as Ice Cap is... Oh god, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Just had to, there's nothing worse than when you're... Oh my god. There's nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse than that shit. And I'm all the way back at the beginning. This is gonna be one of those 5 million hour long recording sessions, isn't it? This is gonna be one of those recording sessions. Try to cut Sonic and Knuckles out of the equation. Nope. It's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna solve anything. I try to, just spleed through, blast through, get through everything as fast as humanly possible. Still! Why is my alarm going off? Sorry about that. One of the incredible things about this game is how I'd say if you're gonna make it like a Sonic game, like have this level of detail, like this is the balance. Like this is much better than some of the realistic stuff that Sonic Adventure was doing. Although I will say that Sonic Adventure is definitely a lot less egregious in its weird uncanniness than Sonic Adventure 2, which really just feels like Sonic is running through random, like, real-life places, which is not fitting at all. Like, he does not belong in those locations at all. He is meant to be in these strange, surreal, sort of... The key word is early 3D-esque. And I mean, like, more like early CGI, not... I'm not talking about, like, early 3D, like, polygonal stuff. Early CGI is what inspired the graphics of Sonic the Hedgehog. But that does not mean that they were, making the assets out of computer-generated stuff. And even then, they still, like, polished things up a bit so that the games would still look good. But Sonic and Knuckles just lets that shit come out raw, and it does not look good. Oh god, did I, like, fucking avoid a checkpoint, and that's why I'm having to go through all of this again? That's probably why. In fact, that's almost certainly why. Oh no. Give me that shield right now. Because I'm not dying to some bullshit again. No way. Gosh. I just can't even believe that there was a time when people said this game was fucking bad. I can't believe it. I just can't believe that shit. Like, how, like, incredibly, like, ugh. I will never forgive Aaron Hansen for his absolute dog shit takes. Like, his takes are such dog shit. Like, I've never seen a person have such dog shit takes. Aaron Hansen spits out some of the most dog shit gaming takes I've ever seen, ever heard, and ever experienced. The mere thought that somebody is stupid enough to believe that this game is, like, lower than at least, like the fact that that he has the gall to say that Sonic was never good. Like, that shit is crazy. Coming from a guy who runs a YouTube channel which digresses in quality every 10 seconds. Like, they fell off so hard. Whatever. It's fine. Because we have peak content here in the form of, again, a boss fight that actually fits the environment. Like, yes, robotics running a mining operation down here. And isn't that cool? Isn't that neat? Don't you like the fact that, there's, a world and a places and cool stuff to see going on here? That's fun. That's enjoyable. And that kind of makes me disappointed because it would be really cool to see a more, defined sort of sense of place in some of the earlier Sonic games. Like, imagine, seeing some of the same style level design where this is a sort of good balance of surrealism. The surreal, weird, abstract shapes and curls and twists of the Sonic's world, of Mobius. Yes, his planet's called Mobius. I am a Mobius believer. I am absolutely a Mobius believer. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I love this zone, bro. This zone is definitely the most memorable one in the game for me. Obviously, Ice Cap is really cool and iconic. But in terms of, a zone that I really remember for its actual gameplay... Oh, okay, that's just bullshit. I just got knocked into that. Oh, God, no. Ugh. I refuse to use save states. Or use rewind on this game because... If I were to use rewind, this game would be incredibly short. And my Sonic Free video has not held up well, and I have not done a video on that recently. So I will come here and, do a actual, no rewind, just clean playthrough of the game. Because my Sonic Free playthrough has held up like actual dog shit. It has not held up well. Oh my god. Oh. Oh yes, please take me out of the experience. This is so necessary. Just get me out of here. For fucking recycled Sonic 1 assets. Cool background though. Gotta love the psychedelic background. That shit looks like what people think Earthbound battle backgrounds are like. Battle now. No, I'm not getting crushed. Those stupid crushers are my worst enemy, bro. I hate them so much. There's nothing worse than being stopped dead in your tracks by some obstacle you couldn't possibly have seen coming. And that's saying something, because it's just moving too fast. Like, if it was moving a little bit slower, it would be fine. But the more likelihood is that you're gonna run into that shit and die. Especially if it's running on a timer, independent from if it's on screen or not. That's gonna be painful to try and avoid. Come on, let me do the bounce. Hold up. Let's just admire that animation. I really like that animation. I like that animation. Speaking of cool animation. No, I can't look up. It's not letting me look up. That's weird. What if I do this? If I go off the ledge and I look up. Oh my god, it's not letting me look up because I'm on the ledge. That means that the trigger for that camera scrolling up is not triggered by you pressing up. It's triggered by the animation playing, I guess. Or there's some sort of thing where that's causing it so that when you're on a ledge, it won't let you look up. Because look at this. It's not letting me look up when I'm on a ledge. Also, that sprite makes Sonic look like he has eyelashes, which is really, really cursed. That's a cursed sprite. Very cursed sprite. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, gotta love that spinning wheel sprite. That's really cool. Yeah, I've learned my lesson about avoiding checkpoints. I have definitely learned my lesson about avoiding checkpoints. I will never avoid a checkpoint again. Because that... Oh, no. I always try to get to the extra life on the other side of that. And I always miss each time. It's so frustrating. Because I want to get my hands on that. It's like the thing I keep trying to remember every time. Alright, jump off at this time. Jump off at this time. And then I fail. And then I don't get that extra life, and it sucks. That bush sprite. I love that bush sprite. You know, if you can't have something be millions and millions of colors because of color palette limitations, that's the way you do it. Distinctive patterns can really make a background, like, pop in the right way, not in the way where, you know, it's distracting. You know, there is something to be said about just flinging yourself at all of the obstacles in these games. Because you can, you know, last a pretty long time just, you know, spin-nashing, jumping. Sometimes a Sonic player, a Sonic veteran, will just know the way that the level design is leading them. And that's great. This is what makes these games so special. Is that you can just sort of go with the flow of the level. Ooh, those mountains. Again, with the mountains. Look at that temple sprite, too. Just appreciating the tiny details that you don't really get to really, or you don't really notice these. I bet normally you would not even think about the background at all. But when you really take a look at it, it's nice, except for this. I don't like it when games, you know, there's an outdoor section, there's an indoor section, and the ways that they go about making the indoor sections be indoors, they just use a repeating tile. Like, there's no way it would be that hard to just make a, you know, separate, still detailed background for indoor sections. I'm not getting crushed by that shit. No. Like, well, imagine, oh, that was like a little piece of, like, black in the bottom left corner there. That tile didn't load quite fast enough. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, shit. No way am I getting crushed by that, bro. See, the score system becomes kind of... Okay, what is going on? I think it's the run-on camera or whatever that's causing that, which is fine because it's still worth it because it makes just playing the game more enjoyable in general. Although I do feel like they should go back. They haven't updated this game in a year. Go back and update that. You know, make that change so that it doesn't look like dog shit. It's not super immersion breaking. Like, I don't care. Oh. Oh my God. Oh yeah. That's like 5 extra hits in already. It's got to get free more in. Again, with the spectacle. This is the kind of spectacle I enjoy. It's not like taking priority over fun gameplay. No, this is a well-designed, cool boss fight that is fun to go through. No way! No way! God, I hate that shit so much. That just little tiny, like, rocket exhaust, it killed me. That's so fucking stupid. I hate it when tiny little sprite details kill you, especially in Sonic games. That's not... It's like a part of the sprite. It's like this element which is separated. Like, that should not deal damage to me. Like, at all. Like, it just feels jank. I swear to God, I lost my ring again! Oh yeah, lose your ring again. Just wait for him to shoot out exhaust and kill me when he's at 1 HP. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. Okay, so I guess the moral of the story. The moral of the story is what is going on? It's not flashing me with the exhaust now. So what the hell was that? It just was a random fucking sprite flicker that killed me. It was a glitch that killed me. I did not see that muzzle flash happen a single time throughout that fight. It did not happen again. What's with that? Again, with the cool spectacle. This is good spectacle. Carnival Night. The difference between good spectacle and bad spectacle is that good spectacle will deliver on a fun, engaging, cool experience. But the key word is that it's still engaging. Like, it is cool to be dodging a bunch of bullets. So say there's a cool, you're playing a bullet hell game. Or some kind of shmup. And the boss fight is really cool. It's got all these cool attacks. It's really large, it's like, you're a tiny ship versus this big enemy, right? And there's all of these bullets and hard attacks, but they're fair. They are designed so that, they are designed with a way to dodge them in mind. A good attack is designed with a way of avoidance in mind. And all of the other enemies' attacks or any other sources of damage are kept in mind when that attack is being designed. Every little possibility can be accounted for. But you should be sure that there is that certain situations and bullet patterns are accounted for, so that yes, it's spectacle, but it isn't unfair. It isn't like a bad sequence of bullet patterns won't kill you. But the thing is about the asteroids in Doomsday Zone is that they just come at you randomly and they're randomly spawned, and there is always going to be a section where you just can't avoid them, and then you get sent back, and it ruins the spectacle. The whole point of it is spectacle. Yet, because of your refusal to put a little bit more nuance into your random generation of obstacles, it ruins the experience for me, because I don't get to have fun. And the thing is, it would be fine, right? It would be fine, but also it's an entirely new playstyle for this final boss, which is an issue a lot of people have with these supersonic final bosses in general, which is that they tend to be like mini games, basically. Like, they do not build upon mechanics from previous games, which I will give previous things you do in the game. But the issue is that Doomsday Zone is not at all a building upon the skills you've learned throughout the past levels. It's not. What it is a cutscene that you can play. And, while in-universe Sonic is dodging all of this cool shit, you are getting smacked by a bunch of random generated obstacles that come your way and ruin your fun. So at that point, is it just bad spectacle? That felt like would be a sequence where I would die somewhere, right at the last stage. But no, I kick his ass. That's how you do it. Man, just making sure everything is going nice and smoothly. It's important to have that, to do that and check every often, especially when OBS decides that it wants to record your videos in MKVs, whatever the fucking MKV is, instead of an MP4. Because MP4s don't take up 5 million, gigabytes. MKVs apparently take up a lot of space. An absurd amount, in fact. Because that shit was hogging up an absurd amount of my computer's storage. But the worst part is that that's recommended, though. Why is this absurdly impractical file format the default option? Because I don't have the space on my computer for that shit. You can't be putting 5 gigabyte videos on my computer. That's a lot of storage being taken up. You just can't do that. This is a nice take on the flashy city light zone. The more fun, catchy kind of city zone, pinball zone, casino zone, that kind of thing. I like this. It's not a Collision Chaos. Collision Chaos is just peak in every single way. But it is a unique take on the casino stage as a sort of Sonic trope. It is, in fact, I'd say, separated enough from the casino trope to make its, obvious relation to that trope be really almost non-existent outside of the fact that it's a little flashy place. It's a sort of fun zone. It's a good time. It is a genuinely good time. It isn't... A lot of the casino zones got a lot of flack, which I feel is undeserved. Because they are fun to go around. A skilled Sonic player, I think I've said this before, should have the ability to navigate through those obstacles well enough. And I mean, is this really any different? Is this really so different from any of the other stages? That's the thing, though. If you feel like people will excuse this zone, it's a good zone. It's a great zone, in fact. But the reasons why people think it's great are not really... They don't really justify it enough. They justify it with the wrong reasons. Because they're saying that it's better than all the other casino-esque zones. But the thing is that it's kind of separate from that, really. It's unique in its own way, which I guess could make it, the best casino zone. But it's not. It's not for me. Because it's just... I don't think it really counts as a casino zone. I think that, trying to compare this to the casino zones is unfair because, that's not what this is trying to do. Of course, you're not going to get bounced around as much in this because this isn't a casino zone. You are not trying to get good at a casino zone. You're trying to get good at all these different separate gimmicks. You're not trying to get good at deal with getting bounced around. You're just trying to get good at separate things. There's a lot of different mechanics from that. I just realized I am selling myself on this being a good zone. This is just a spectacular zone. In general. The gimmicks are really fun to mess around with. Here's the thing. You're seeing me go really fast, constant flow. There's a problem with this game's scoring system. It feels like the score system was kept literally exactly the same, but that score system was made for Sonic 1 length levels, Sonic 2 length levels. But these levels are large, they are very expansive, and that's a good thing. But the thing is that I don't know how you're supposed to get a high score when, usually you're going to be in these zones for 5 minutes, and the game really punishes that sort of slow movement through the levels. Which doesn't make sense, because these levels are really big. It would have been a good choice to go back and update the system. Because there is some satisfaction. It's just that little bit part of the earlier Sonic games of, speeding through a level really fast and then getting that high score. But you don't get to see that big number in here because these levels are just so long. So you don't really get that opportunity. And it's not really a big issue. I don't really mind it. It is absolutely a nitpick of a high degree. But I just... It is nice to see that nice big number. It's just like that. It's like affirmation that you kicked ass. Here you go, buddy. Big number. But you don't get that here because, they just didn't update the system. Oh god, this guy messes me up. You gotta watch out and make sure that you do not fuck this part up. I hate this. Oh god, no. I swear to god, there's nothing worse than getting stuck in that fuck loop and dying to him. Ooh, hurt my finger a bit. But yeah. Now we're gonna move on to everybody's favorite zone. And it is worthy. That tile kind of looks like a glitch. Gonna be honest. This is a weird looking pattern. I know it's everywhere. Excuse me. Oh, shit. It just looks a little funky. Look at that. Oh. Look at this. Oh yeah, that looks sick. I'm glad I chose that setting because it looks so much better with the dawn setting. This mountainous section has so much unique sprite work put into it, it's insane. Like, all of those trees, all of those dead trees, those mountain sprites are never used again. All of that effort put into that one sequence. This zone is just... Listen. Just keep listening. Yeah. I love this zone, bro. Really taking in the atmosphere of this zone just reminds me of how fun it is. How just the atmosphere, the sprite work. Like, look at all how intricate. Ooh, that's a fucking massive word. Okay. Intricate. Intro to the kit. The sprite work is, for this zone in particular, is some of the best in the series. Like, a lot. Let's appreciate some of this. Like, this screen right here leaves a lot. It like shows a lot of the best sprite work in the zone. You know, minus the mountains in the beginning section and Sonic fucking skating down. You know, look at the way that they do those cool ice spikes. Look at that. They take advantage of the fact that the background is like the way are those colors, and so they have those sections be see-through. That is such a old school technique. I love it. They used the fact that the background so nicely would blend in with those sprites to make it sort of fill in that empty space, and use those colors somewhere else where they'll be more needed. That's nice. It's cool. I love it. I love this shit. It's good. Hard times, I don't want copyright strike. High times come by. I also really like how the zone plays with the endless looping mechanic. Although it is a little bit confusing on a first playthrough, it really sort of honestly adds to the scale on a mountain. It's just so grandiose. Like, you're just fucking climbing in a whole ass mountain. And, you know, the music captures that. The sprite work captures that. How tall and massive in scale this little cave is. Although, I'll have to say, I hate that. I hate getting knocked off the ledge in this zone and then having to redo a section. I do feel like there could be something they could have done to avoid that, because it is pretty frustrating. Oh, come on! Oh, come on! That hitbox is skewed as fuck, and their attempt to bounce me off against my will, they are active. What the fuck was that? That was a little jank. That was a little bit jank. Like, in their attempts to... Oh, I hate that part. I do not like that part. In their attempts to get the player to, like, use that spring immediately, they've increased the hitbox to a point where it doesn't feel right, and so it messes me up. Every damn time. Like that! I hate that. It's just ruins the flow. It gets me out of the vibe. Also, it's frustrating when Tails decides to move the platform ahead of you, and then you end up just falling into nothing. Like, I wish that it would wait until Sonic was like at like the right edge, like right at that part where he makes contact with that shit, before it would, you know, register any contact with it. You know, except for, you know, actually walking on it. So that's situations where Tails steps on it for like 2 seconds, it swings open, and then Sonic falls to redo that shit all over again. It wouldn't happen. Because that would be accounted for. Again, with the cool mini-bosses. This one's taking some nods from one of the Metropolis Zone mini-bosses. Or the Metropolis Zone final boss. Gotta say, it does that pattern a lot better. Oh man, look at these outdoor sprites. Look at them. I gotta say though, the opening sections and mountains look a lot better. Although I guess in broad daylight, we do get to really see the color limitations in full detail. Of course, I guess what that does do is that sort of stylish lack thereof, the lack of detail, makes it so that even if, there's a lot of cool things happening in the backgrounds, the fact that there's not a lot of intricate detail in the background, to a distracting degree. Just can't say it enough. Backgrounds are peak. What the fuck are these things? This is why I love Sonic 3 sprite work. You've got these weird spinning Triforce things. You've got these, vials with weird Atari sprites on them. Weird gemstones. What are these things? Who the fuck knows? Are they cool? Yes. Yes, they are. They are very cool. Also enjoy how this perspective thing here, where this is more to the left and this is more to the right, and that little gem is shrunken. Although it does look like they did not shrink this divided part of the sprite. I don't know. As an artist, I overanalyze this shit way too much. I don't fucking care. Looks peak. Oh yeah. Oh my god, the gemstones. Look at them gemstones. They're... And, oh my god, again, with these. Look at that. That is sick. It's sometimes hard to notice the fact that there are some, color changing things happening here. Some shifting color palettes things. Although you can see that there are, various, you can tell that the floor was probably not meant to glow like that, and that it's just a result of some of the sprites sharing colors. But it's not too bad. Oh my god, look at the detail on the gems of that. It's not too distracting. That part fucks me up. I do not like that part. I do not like that part. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Are we going here? Are we going? Yes, we are. We are, in fact, going. And... Ow. Ow. Waha. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Something really hurt my shoulder. That really hurt my shoulder. Tails, do not jump on that thing. There's a lot of cool mechanics here in this zone. Such as this. Look at that. The feeling of ascension is really, multiplied by these little trampoline things here. And just watching you really... you have to take in your vertical ascension and the height that you're gaining. It's forcing you to really notice that this stage is tall. There's a lot of vertical action going on. You are ascending this place. It's cool. I enjoy it. And I don't think that I would have this zone every way. There's a lot of colors on that orb guy sprite. This boss fight is frustrating. This boss fight is really annoying. I don't understand why they thought that this boss was really fair. The worst part is when your rings get knocked off and you just get to sit and really take in how big you fucked up. That when your rings just go flying into the fuck zone. God, no. If your ring flies off screen, ugh! Don't fall through the floor. Tails. If it falls through the floor due to the, just random chance, you're cooked, and there's nothing you can do. Tails. Tails. Get that ring. Oh, yeah, not so strong now, huh, buddy? When you're being instantly eviscerated in 2 seconds instead of stealing my hard-earned lives. Look at that attempt of making those little iceberg fragments 3D. Oh, yeah. Another amazing level transition that knocks the spectacle... Okay. This zone. This zone's music is great. A lot of the objects look great. The background elements look fantastic. Just wish that the floor tiles were a little bit more saturated. It could really do with a little more saturation. Like you can tell. Look at this. Okay. You seen that shit? Are you seeing that how weird those weird little pixels all around there? You can tell, right, that that was like definitely done in a different way than a lot of the other sprites here. It looks just so out of place. Like it feels like these floor tiles, the purple checkers, and all of these other sprites contrast the more plain lime brick. But hey, it's a lot better than what Sonic and Knuckles does. And it certainly isn't as bad as Shitopolis. So we're doing okay. Especially since the great actual sprite work makes up a majority of what's going on here. And then there's just the fun gameplay. I like how this game brings back water. I like how elements aren't just restricted to one zone. Like, you're not just gonna see water in one zone and that shit ain't ever coming back. No, it repeats. Elements are brought back where they make sense. And I've never really taken in before the fact that this is really happening above water. Like the death egg is being made on top of a lake, which is interesting because that implies that the bottom half is being made underwater. Like, what's going on? Imagine if we got to have a zone where we went inside those towers over there, those red little structure supports, and we went underwater to see the bottom half being constructed. Wouldn't that be badass? I think that would be pretty cool. But what ends up happening is that the latter half of this is quite mediocre. That's a harsh word. That's a very harsh word for a Sonic 3 level. I'd say they're just... It's a bit on the unpolished side, especially with the 5 million bosses in a row thing. Of course, it's not really that much of a trouble, actually. It's not too troubling. But if you die, randomly, if you're, 5 minutes through the 20 million rounds of boss fights, and you're just sort of... Okay, what the fuck? What do you want me to do here? Why is there a random gate here? I don't like having to find these random switches. It's fine when they're, right there and there's a clear path, but then... There's just, randomly scouting around for 5 hours. What is this here for? How did that improve, the gameplay experience in any way? Was that really necessary? I don't know. I don't fucking know. But... either way... this zone is still pretty good. This zone is still amazing. And once again, we'll get to see some cool cutscenes that don't force you to play through them and experience miserable pain. Because there's a difference between a cool boss fight that is fun and a... there's a difference between a cool cutscene and there's a difference between a cool boss and a fun boss. A boss can be... Oh. Wait a minute. This better be recording still. Okay. We are safe. We are safe. I hate it when it gives me that warning. That's just how much storage space those stupid MKV files take up. So much fucking space. It's unbelievable. Like, it is such an unreasonable amount. Like, there's no way that it's just auto-assigned. No way. I don't want to go for that section, but it's going to make me anyway. Yep. The capsule of transportation is closed off. Don't know what those alarms are for. Really couldn't know, but they're cool. They're cool anyway. Oh, yeah. Now, minor visual gripes aside, this shit is still really well designed. Whoa, we got some weird, like, Russian, like, India sort of weird, like, tower tops going on there. Whoa. Come on. Let me up. Let me up. Let me up. Let me up, bro. Come on. Oh no, whatever shall I do? It is Fuckles. He is bombing. Like, does Sonic and Knuckles have as many cutscenes like this? I don't think it does. I don't think there are nearly as many, like, little intermissionary cutscenes in Sonic and Knuckles. I don't think that's the case. Alright, here we are. Oh, yeah. Again, with the cool boss fights. I don't know what the other, like, sections are for. I don't know how I would be forgetting their purpose. Like, what are these for? What do these do? What is the purpose of those other squares? What are they there for? Are they just extra ones that never get activated? What's going on with that? Oh, yeah. Here we go. I'm ready to launch my base, bro. The soundtrack is so good. I think that the Origins soundtrack, in terms of Carnival Nights, sounds better. I think the Origins version of Carnival Nights has a little bit more charm. It's got a little bit more pep in its step. It has a bit more rhythm. And it sounds a little less clownish. Like, I know that it's a carnival, but, you know, carnival music isn't exactly going to be sampled in the next, like, big album. Like, that sounds weird. It's just the carnival music Carnival Nights music is just so explicitly carnival that it's lacking a bit of that whimsical edge. You know what I mean? But the prototype music has, like, all of this, like, it's got this, like, sort of style to it. It sounds great. In the original prototype, however. In the original actual prototype. Fortunately, the same thing cannot be said for the, oh god. Let me just pick up some wrongs before I go venturing off into darkness. Oh, man. I just love that lead ledge teetering animation. It's got so much expressiveness in these sprites. Nothing like electronical doodads and Jim Bobs within the tiles to make everything just be that much more, you know, vibrant. The prototype music for this sounds really bad. Like, the first act is pretty good. It's got, like, this sort of, like, march vibe. This sort of more, like, ominous vibe. This, instead of the